a mansion where every wall hides a secret, and a girl who has no idea that her destiny will decide the fate of an entire village. Hey everyone, today we're diving into a fantasy story where magic, an old family curse, and a lost moon pearl come together to create one magical journey. A young girl named Maria Merryweather stands at her father's funeral, dressed in black, watching as they lower Colonel George Merryweather into the ground. Beside her stands Miss Heliotrope, her old babysitter, and the closest thing to family she has left. Her father was a good man, but he died with nothing. No money, no property, no savings. All he left behind for Maria was a single old book, a dusty ancient volume called The Chronicles of Moonacre Valley. That night, Maria opens the book and begins to read. The story inside takes her back 100 years. It tells of a young woman unlike any other, a woman with skin as pale as moonlight, and a heart so pure that nature itself loved her like a daughter. The moon took notice of this woman and blessed her with the extraordinary gift, a necklace made of pearls, not ordinary pearls, moon pearls, magical, powerful, and dangerous in the wrong hands. From that day forward, the woman was known as the Moon Princess. The Moon Princess belonged to a family called the Denoir clan. She fell deeply in love with a man named Sir Ralph Merryweather, a man from a rival family. On their wedding day, her father gifted the couple a rare and magnificent black lion. Sir Ralph gave his bride a unicorn. Everything felt magical and full of hope. But the Moon Princess made one fatal mistake. Overflowing with happiness, she showed the pearl necklace to everyone at the wedding and told them what it could do. Those pearls, she said, can reveal the true nature of a person's heart. They can grant any wish, good or evil. The moment those words left her lips, everything changed. Both families, the Merryweathers and the Denoirs, immediately wanted the pearls for themselves. Greed took over. The two families turned on each other, consumed by pride and hatred. The fighting broke the Moon Princess's heart. In her grief and anger, she cursed the entire Moonacre Valley. She declared that the valley would be swallowed by eternal darkness at the rising of the 5,000th moon, unless a pure heart could be found before then. Maria closes the book and stares at the ceiling. The next morning, she packs her bags. With Miss Heliotrope by her side, Maria sets off for Moonacre Valley, the only place left for her to go. She has an uncle there, a strange and reclusive man named Sir Benjamin Merryweather, who lives alone in a grand old manor. Their journey through the countryside is rough and frightening. At one point, a gang of rough men nearly kidnaps them on the road. They barely escape. When they finally arrive at Moonacre Manor, Maria is struck by how old and cold it feels. Sir Benjamin greets them at the door, a tall, stern man who looks like he has not smiled in years. He introduces them to his enormous black dog named Rolf, who he casually mentions can kill a man in seconds. He shows Miss Heliotrope to her room, then leads Maria up a long winding staircase to a tower room at the very top of the manor. Maria is not thrilled about sleeping so far from her guardian, but the room itself takes her breath away. It has its own fireplace, and the ceiling is painted to look exactly like a night sky, stars scattered across the deep blue surface above her bed. The next morning, Benjamin spots the old book Maria inherited from her father. Without a word, he takes it and locks it away in his library. Maria argues. He ignores her. At breakfast, she tries again. He brushes her aside. Miss Heliotrope attempts to ease the tension with cheerful small talk. Benjamin tells her he prefers silence while eating. Then, almost as a taunt, he mentions that he has not allowed a woman inside this manor in years. He also calls Maria's father a coward for leaving his daughter with nothing but debts. Maria defends her father fiercely, but Benjamin walks away. Despite his cold behavior, Benjamin eventually warms up just enough to take them on a tour of the estate. He tells them that the men who attacked them on the road were from the Denoir clan, the same family from the story in Maria's book. He warns them both to stay away from the forest. The next day, Benjamin takes Maria to the local market on horseback. Maria has never ridden a horse before, but she takes to it naturally. Benjamin sees this and, impressed, allows her to stay out on her own for a while, even with the Denoirs nearby. While riding alone, Maria hears a frightened cry coming from the direction of the trees. She knows she should not go into the forest. She goes anyway. Inside, she finds a small hare trapped in a wooden cage. She kneels down and frees it gently, but as she stands up, she realizes she is surrounded. A group of rough men step out from behind the trees, and among them is a young boy about her age named Robin Denoir. He is sharp-eyed and confident, with the look of someone who is used to getting what he wants. Before anything can happen, Rolf, Benjamin's great black dog, bursts through the trees and puts himself between Maria and the Denoir. Robin and his men back off. Maria returns safely to the manor, but strange things begin to happen. She starts having visions, a white horse galloping silently around the grounds of the manor in the middle of the night, and the stars painted on her ceiling begin to move on their own, drifting slowly across the blue surface like real stars in a real sky. She asks Benjamin about it. His face changes instantly. Something like pain crosses his expression, and he walks away without a word. Rolf leads Maria through the manor to a hidden kitchen she has never seen before. There she meets Marmaduke, the manor's cheerful and round chef. She tells him about her visions. He listens carefully and tells her what she needs to do. Finish reading the book. With Marmaduke's help, Maria sneaks into Benjamin's library and retrieves her father's book. She reads on and learns the full weight of the Moon Princess's curse. The 5,000th moon is coming, and it is coming soon. If the curse is not broken before it rises, Moonacre Valley will fall into permanent darkness forever. She runs back to Marmaduke. He looks at her seriously and tells her what the book could not. She is the new Moon Princess. Maria stares at him. He explains, only the Moon Princess can see the unicorn. Maria has been seeing it every night. That means it is her. She is the one who must break the curse. She must find the moon pearls and return them to the sea. And she must somehow unite the Merryweather and Denoir families, two clans that have hated each other for a century. Maria does the math in her head. The next full moon will be the 5,000th. She has almost no time. That night Maria cannot sleep. She slips out of the manor and wanders the grounds, trying to clear her head. Deep inside the estate, she finds a cave, and inside it, a woman. The woman is beautiful and pale, and looks so much like the portraits of the Moon Princess that Maria can barely speak. The woman's name is Loveday. Loveday tells Maria her story. She was also a Moon Princess once. She tried to break the curse. She failed, and she has been living in this cave ever since, hiding from the world. When Maria suggests asking Uncle Benjamin for help, Loveday's expression hardens immediately. She tells Maria never to mention his name to her again. Then she shuts down entirely. Maria pieces things together slowly. The Denoirs stole the casket that holds the moon pearls. The Merryweathers took the key to that casket. Without both pieces, the pearls cannot be retrieved. Maria notices something. The key is right there, pressed into the bookmark of her father's book. She has had it all along. Loveday agrees to show Maria where the Denoir fortress is, but the moment they arrive, she turns and vanishes into the trees, leaving Maria completely alone. Maria does what Maria does. She sneaks inside by herself. She is spotted almost immediately by Robin's father, a cold and powerful man named Cave Denoir. Maria hands him the key. Cave opens the casket, and it is empty. He accuses the Merryweathers of stealing the pearls. Robin throws Maria into the fortress jail. Before the cell door closes, Maria kicks Robin square in the shin for mocking her. Back at the manor, Benjamin discovers that Maria is missing. He is furious and frightened. The next morning, Maria fools the guard into opening her cell door. She sprints out of the fortress with Robin and his men chasing her through the trees. Rolf finds her in the forest and leads her safely home. Benjamin scolds her harshly for disobeying him. She goes to her room in silence. But later that night, he knocks on her door and apologizes. It is the first time he has done that for anyone in a very long time. The next morning, Loveday appears in Maria's room. Maria is not pleased. Loveday abandoned her, but Loveday makes peace by bringing a gift, the original Moon Princess's gown, ancient and shimmering. Maria puts it on. She takes Loveday to the piano room. As Loveday plays, Maria notices a mirror on the wall that seems to be showing her something. Images from the past, flickering like reflections in moving water, and what she sees shocks her. Benjamin and Loveday were in love. They were engaged to be married. But then Loveday revealed the truth. She was a Denoir. Benjamin felt betrayed and humiliated. He accused her of tricking him into loving the enemy and broke off the engagement. Loveday ran away and has been living in the cave ever since, alone, waiting. Both of them have been punishing themselves and each other for years. Maria urges Loveday to go to Benjamin and make things right. Loveday refuses and leaves again. Maria comes up with a plan. It is not entirely honest, but she is running out of time. She writes 2 letters, and one to Benjamin, one to Loveday, and forges them so each one believes the other has invited them to meet. Both of them show up, expecting a genuine reconciliation. They are not happy when they realize what Maria has done. While the adults argue among themselves, Maria slips away with Robin into the forest. It is time to find the pearls. Marmaduke suggested Robin's help because he knows the forest better than anyone. Maria is not thrilled about working with a Denoir, but she swallows her pride. In the meantime, Cave has been watching everything through his trained eagle. When he sees Maria heading into the forest, he sends his men after her. They quietly separate Maria from Rolf and Robin, cutting her off in the trees. Maria is alone again, but the white unicorn appears in front of her, glowing softly in the dark. She follows it deeper into the forest until it leads her to an enormous ancient tree. She reaches out and touches the roots, and there, hidden within the hollow base of the tree, is the pearl necklace, the moon pearls, glowing softly, cold against her fingers. But Cave is right behind her. Meanwhile, Robin has broken free from the men who grabbed him, with Rolf's help. But the effort costs Rolf everything. The great black dog collapses in the forest and does not get up again. Robin hears Maria scream. He runs. cave has Maria cornered against the tree. He is reaching for the necklace. Robin bursts through the trees and grabs Maria's hand, pulling her away. They run together with Cave and his men right behind them. The two of them dive under the hollow base of the great tree and find a secret tunnel. The pearl necklace glows ahead of them, showing them the way. The unicorn appears again, leading them forward. They emerge at the cliff at the edge of the valley, the exact place where the Moon Princess cursed the land 100 years ago. The moon is beginning to rise. Benjamin and Loveday are already there. Marmaduke and Miss Heliotrope brought them. Everyone is on the cliff as the sky begins to glow. Cave arrives last, and he goes straight for the pearls. Loveday steps in front of her father. She tells him it is time to stop. She tells him that hatred has cost their family everything, including her. She appeals to him as his daughter, not as a Denoir warrior. She asks him to let go of his pride. Maria turns to Benjamin and pleads with him as well. She asks him to forgive, to stop fighting a war that started a century before either of them was born. Benjamin stands rigid, jaw tight. Neither man moves. Maria makes a decision. She walks to the edge of the cliff and throws the pearl necklace into the sea. The sea sends it back. The pearls float to the surface and drift back toward the shore. Maria picks them up. She breaks the necklace apart, bead by bead, and hurls each pearl into the water. The sea sends them back again. The pearls attach themselves to Maria's dress one by one, clinging to the fabric like they belong there. The moon is almost at its peak. The 5,000th moon is seconds away. Maria looks at the pearls on her dress. She looks at the sea. Then she steps off the cliff and falls into the water. She sinks. The water closes over her head. For a long moment, everything is still. Then the ocean surges. A massive wave rises up from the deep and crashes toward the cliff. And riding on the crest of that wave, white and glowing and impossibly beautiful, is the unicorn. And on its back is Maria, alive, eyes open, the pearls gone from her dress and finally at rest beneath the sea. Rolf appears on the cliff top, alive, standing strong, having returned to his true form. He is the Black Lion from the ancient story. He has always been the Black Lion. Benjamin rushes to his niece and holds her close, shaking with relief. Then he straightens up, walks to Loveday, and speaks the words he should have said years ago. He apologizes, fully, without excuses. Loveday looks at him for a long moment. Then she forgives him. The Merryweathers and the Denoir stand together on the cliff for the first time in a century. Cave lowers his head. Benjamin extends his hand. The two men, stubborn, proud, wounded men, finally let go of the hatred that has defined their lives. The curse breaks. Light spreads across Moonacre Valley like a sunrise, warm and golden and unstoppable. The darkness lifts. The valley breathes again. Flowers open. The air clears. The moon hangs full and peaceful in the sky, not as a threat but as a blessing. Maria stands at the edge of the cliff and looks out over the valley that is now hers to protect. Robin appears beside her. They stand together looking at the world they just saved. Moonacre Valley is free.